Hey, you're listening to 91.1 The Avenue. My name is Ann, and this is The Avenue's Mile of Music coverage. We're talking about Mile of Music 10 with the artists in town, and we're really pleased to welcome an old friend with a new band, and it is Hillary Reynolds with Slow Coast. Hi, welcome.
Hi.
Hi, thank you so much.
Thanks for having us.
Anytime you're in town, we will, of course, have you. So just to lay a little Mile of Music history, Hillary, I feel like you were at the first Mile of Music.
I was here. Actually, Trevor was here as well. We were part of Hillary Reynolds' band at the time.
Okay.
And we played at the Lawrence Chapel. That was kind of our big debut, along with the festival. It's really sweet.
Okay, so I do remember seeing you. I stuck pretty close to the chapel on that first Mile of Music, and only later realized that music was everywhere. So a couple of things have changed in that time. 10 years later, 11 years later, 9 festivals later. Wow. You're here with Slow Coast. Talk about this project.
Well, Slow Coast is a band of 7 members. We play Americana music with sort of a bluegrass influence. We have Mark Cassidy on banjo, Tom Shoemake on mandolin, Jim Frink on drums, Trevor Jarvis on the cello, Hillary Reynolds on the piano and vocals, and myself, Ben Kopf, on the bass.
Nice. We've got a couple of your songs in our playlist. I mean, at least one, I know, Slow Coast. So listeners, if it sounds familiar, you've already been listening to it, but this is your first Mile of Music festival as Slow Coast. You formed just before the pandemic, so there's all of that timeline.
Yeah, and I think what's really, I'm so gracious to everyone at the festival, because when this band is new and we hadn't really played around a lot. It's more of a collective feel. But when I reached out and, asked and inquired whether or not we could get the California boys out to Wisconsin, it was met with enthusiasm. And now I can't believe we're just, staring at the weekend ahead, and we have a lot of really great performances coming up. But what other community would just be like, bring complete strangers into the community and let's have a great time. Like, it was just so welcoming and so wonderful.
Well, there's a little bit of legacy that goes with it. We know, and the festival knows you, and they know you with Trevor. Mm-hmm. You're in Peridot, correct?
Yeah, that's right.
That
was kind of,
there's that.
Peridot is kind of the evolution of what used to be Hillary Reynolds' band. Hillary and I sort of spun off and started a new thing. So yeah, she and I have been playing together for a long time, probably more than 10 years.
It was low risk, is the point I'm saying, So this is really cool, though. This is something different than we've ever heard from you. And for lovers of string bands, I would highly recommend you check out Slow Coast at the festival. You are here how many days of the festival?
I can't keep my schedule straight because we're playing Slow Coast as Peridot, and it's just kind of interchanged.
Slow Coast is playing Thursday, Friday, and Saturday.
Yeah. And as I always tell listeners, consult the Mile of Music app or the printed schedule available around downtown, and certainly at the PAC where the headquarters are. So tell us a little bit. You guys came together, you've recorded, and, give us a little bit of history and what you have on the horizon.
I'm the mandolin player in the band, and Benjamin and I met in 2016, and I was working on an all-original album, and I was really excited when Ben approached me about producing that album. Ben brought some of his favorite people to the table, and myself as well, including Mark Cassidy, who's our banjo player. Hillary actually helped me co-write some of the songs on there and did some wonderful singing on my record. But I remember Ben telling me his dream band was this particular, all 7. This is Ben's dream band, and,
that's cool.
By extension, mine as well. It just...
How often does
Absolutely.
that come together?
Very rarely. And the fact that we got all of us with our busy schedules committed to writing and recording music together, it's just it's been a really exciting sound because I grew up around lots of different types of music, but a lot of bluegrass music. And I always wanted to take the mandolin and do something more modern with it. And you have to meet the right people to do that. So for me, the slow coast sound, you definitely hear that mandolin and banjo and some of that boom chuck sensibility of a bluegrass sound. But then we're also pulling in some of the more modern pop influences.
Right. Yeah, that's a great description of the sound to my ears. So, what has Hillary told you about what you can expect at Mile of Music for the newcomers?
Oh, well, I haven't made it. I guess I hope I haven't like blown it up too much, but I basically said people are here to listen, and it's all original music, and that's our wheelhouse. So,
Yeah. Okay, so that's the music part.
yeah.
Yeah, we've always been like really bad at playing like a ton of covers, so this plays right into our wheelhouse, having it be not only an original music festival, but one that actively like bans covers. Like that's great. We're terrible at covers.
But the Wisconsin hospitality, the any of that, is she just going to let it all surprise you?
Oh, of course. I've been to Wisconsin plenty of times in the past. I was actually a member of Hillary Reynolds' band for a while there, too. But we are definitely excited to introduce Tom, and I did forget a member of the band, Brian Burke on guitar, and Mark and Jim, all to this wonderful place.
You tell me you have some new music coming out, and we'd certainly like to match that up with this interview. So tell us about that.
The song that we're putting out this weekend is called "I'd Rather Be Your Enemy," and it features our banjo player Mark. And if I'm not mistaken, Mark and Hillary wrote the song,
And Trevor, yeah.
and Trevor as well wrote the song together. And it has everything I love about a good song. It's in slow coast. I love playing off of what the banjo is doing with the mandolin. I also like either harmonizing to another instrument or doubling up, and it has a lot of that fun in it. Where the mandolin and banjo are really kind of driving the song, but then you also have this like kind of classic or southern rock feel throughout it too with the electric guitars. Mark's voice does such a good job expressing. It's kind of like a country voice meets a little bit of LA edge or something. I think we're all just extremely excited about how that single sounds right now, and we're really looking forward to sharing it with everyone.
It's a very spiteful song.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's a bit of a departure because we're, Hillary and I are used to writing like a lot of sort of like very sweet, like sensitive songs, and this is like a very angry, not sensitive song. So
It's good though. It's a good balance.
They are Slow Coast. You can catch them many days throughout the festival. Consult the Mile of Music app. You're listening to the Mile of Music coverage on 91.1 The Avenue. The Avenue's Mile of Music coverage is made possible with support from Nicolet Bank and from U.S. Venture. Additional support comes from Dodd Home Safety. Dodd Home Safety performs home safety assessments, provides and installs the recommended equipment, and trains everyone on how to keep loved ones safe and independent in their own homes. More information at doddhomesafety.com.
We're Slow Coast, and you're listening to 91.1 The Avenue.
You said all the right things, but only did me wrong. You're trying to play the victim, but you're already gone. And don't think I didn't notice your suitcase on the floor. You had the nerve to kiss my cheek with one foot out the door. Well, I'd rather be your enemy than ever be your friend. I'd rather go pitch black from a heart attack than see your face again. Your sweet talk won't stop messing with my head. I'd rather be your enemy than ever be your friend. I don't care anymore. And now you don't look too broken, and I don't wonder why. Yeah, you say there's no one new, but you always smile when you lie. Well, I'd rather be your enemy than ever be your friend. I'd rather go pitch black from a heart attack than see your face again. Your sweet talk won't stop messing with my head. I'd rather be your enemy, ever be your friend. I'd rather go pitch black from a heart attack than see your face again. Your sweet talk won't stop messing with my head. I'd rather be your enemy. I'd rather be your enemy than ever be your friend. I'd rather go pitch black from a heart attack than see your face again. Your sweet talk won't stop messing with my head.